Hello and welcome to today's video. Today is my update for my 9 in 2019. I'm not going to go in any particular order, but I do want to say I'm going to do the update in March because that puts me on the quarterly track. But after March, you can expect updates only quarterly because I don't think that I am using products up so quickly to warrant monthly updates. Like I'm worried that it would just be kind of boring. So there will be an update obviously this month, February. There will be one in March, and then after that, quarterly. So let's just jump into the products and see how I did in just 1 month. My first product is my L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base, and you can see I already had pan in it, but you can see that I have expanded the pan, and I'm even trying to like work my way up onto the side there. I think you can see that. And I'm enjoying the product. It's definitely probably going to take me most of the year to get it done because I don't need a lot at once to use it. And I still can use some other primers with it, but it does prevent me from using other pore filling primers. So that is kind of a bummer because I do have some that I would like to rotate in and use, but I really just want to focus on getting this one. So the only other primers in my collection that are getting love right now are like hydrating primers and that kind of thing. So yeah, this is a slow going process, but I have used it a good number of times. I have used this primer 21 times, which I think is a good amount, even though it doesn't look like it's that big of a dent for 21 uses. My next product is my Maybelline Matte and Poreless foundation, and at the intro you can see that I was at this top line, and now I am I've moved it down just a little bit. Not the best progress, but then again I actually have been working on another foundation in my Roulette Pan collab project. I have used this foundation 8 times so far, and I am wearing it today too. I will be glad to get this done because I think I realize now that my preferences have changed and I'm not in love with this like I was at one point. I think it's a solid choice for a drugstore option, but I don't know. I want to be able to finish up some of my foundations and actually start to look for one that's like my favorite. Next up, I have my Butter Bronzer, and I do think that you will be able to tell, you probably can't tell here, but I have expanded the pan some. I will have a photo at the end, photo slideshow kind of thing at the end of this video showing better like intro versus now photos. And yeah, I think that you can see that I'm pretty sure that the bright shiny ring there is what I have expanded it to. I am so surprised by how slow going this bronzer takes to use. Like I feel like I use it a heavy hand with it every time, and it doesn't show very much progress. So I'm worried that this might be sticking around until the end of the project. Next, let's talk about my Tarte Blush Bazaar. This has 8 blushes and 2 highlights. My goal is to kind of try to wear off as many of the patterns as much as possible by the end of the year, not necessarily to hit pan on any one shade in here because I really just want to give the entire thing some love. So you'll see that my highlighters probably have the most wear, but it's not because I use them more often. It's probably because they're just pressed a little less hard than the blushes are. I particularly have been focusing on this shade here, Extraordinary, and I have used this a ton, I feel like this month, and pretty heavy-handedly. And so far, I think there's a little progress, but at the end of the day, I wonder, like, it seems to me that it's just getting hard pan more than it's wearing away the actual, like, tree pattern, which is a little bit disheartening. Another shade that I've been focusing on is Authentic here, not nearly as much. I mean, you can see that around the pan, it's very messy. Like, I have been really, like, digging into this, but the tree pattern is just, it's here to stay for now. I have worn all the shades except for Dainty here, and I think it's because that shade is so similar to this shade which I've been focusing on that I just decided to just pick one. But yeah, I think what I need to do is just stick with choosing like a warm tone blush in here and a cool tone blush and just go to town on them until I get to the point where I want to be and then switch it up. We'll see what happens, but I also know that I can't do that the entire time or else I won't see the progress on other shades that I want. So I probably have to kind of count out the months and think about which blushes I should focus on to meet my goal. Overall, I have reached for this palette 27 times. I have worn the shade Extraordinary like 9 or 10 times, and then Authentic I've worn at least 7 times. There's a good chance that I forgot to record something at least one day, but all in all, that's pretty solid number, like number-wise, what I've used. Next up, let's talk about my Benefit Cabral. This is probably the most intimidating product in this project for me because I'm not kidding you when I tell you this thing is easily over 2 years old, and this is what it looks like despite like I have used this thing to death. Like they're easily everyday use for months and months, and I'm not even halfway done with it. Earlier in the month, I was feeling very disheartened by this product because I was just realizing that if I use it just in my brows, there's no way I'm gonna get through this in a year. Like the math it doesn't check out. I've had this for far longer than a year, and I've used it easily probably over 300 times, and I still don't have half of it gone. There's no way this is gonna get done. And so I started thinking about how to use this product in other ways. And I'm like, well, you know, there's not a lot you can do with it. It's very dark. I'm not going to use that as a contour. That would be crazy. But I did have a thought that I could use a brush kind of like this. This is just a Real Techniques, the targeted blending brush, and I used to use a brush like this shape for cream contours, but I have an extra one and I'm not really using it. So what I've been doing is sticking it into the jar and making sure I get all the bristles down in there, and I kind of twist it around, get product on the edge of it, and then I feather it into my hairline up here, and I like pull my hair back, feather it all the way around, and just kind of give the appearance that maybe my hair isn't as bald as I actually am. So I've been doing that, and I do think that I'm actually seeing some progress on this. I don't think you're going to be able to see it very well. I think you can see a dip in there, but to me, I'm like finally able to see through the jar like some of this thicker glass, and I'm like, well, that's the first time that's ever happened. So I think it's progress, but I do think it's slow going, and I am worried that it might take the entire year to use this thing up. But we will see. I'm not quitting on it. I'm gonna at least give it a solid 6 months before I like have some sort of internal panic crisis and decide what to do with it long term. Next up, I have this Sephora Rouge Infusion. I thought it was a lip gloss, but I have to say it doesn't really go on like a lip gloss. It's not a liquid lip. It goes on like a lip gloss, but it doesn't look like a lip gloss. It like almost kind of disappears. I don't know. It's the weirdest formula. Comment down below if you've ever tried these. Let me know what you think they are. They call them lip inks, so it's not even like they call it a lip gloss or something. This one is in the shade Peach. You can't see the progress. When I weighed it at the beginning, it was 12 grams. When I weighed it yesterday, it was still 12 grams. So no progress here, which doesn't really surprise me. I have some other lip products that I'm focusing on first, and I know I can use up lip gloss kind of products pretty easily. So I haven't really made a super duper effort to go for this and use it up. I have used it 11 times, but I know it takes a lot more. I have not been reapplying this, and I know that's the key to using up lip glosses. You have to pick them up often and you will eventually use them up. But for now, I'm okay with not using it up quickly because it's not a bad product, but it's not something that I care to like rush through either. Next up, I have my Essence Lip Stick Balm. I don't really know what it is, and the kind of writing has worn off the bottom. I think I can see that whatever it was in the shade 3. And this was, I bought this at Ulta right before like their matte formulas got super duper popular. And you should be able to see here, hopefully, that I am making a little bit of progress. To me, this product is pretty dang easy to use up, and I reach for it occasionally, but not all the time. And I think that when I decide to just pick this up and just get it done, that it will go pretty quickly. But for now, I'm enjoying having it around, and I'm not in a particular rush to finish it up, but I do know that it needs to be gone by the end of the year. I have worn it 15 times, and like I said, it's super easy, comfortable formula to wear, so I know that at some point when I get more serious about it that I can fly through this when I'm ready to. And my last two products here I have measured on a sheet and like a little notebook that I keep. But I have my Covergirl Shimmer Stick, and I have sharpened this twice, and I'm trying to remember to use it every day. There are some days that I just forget that this is something I'm supposed to use before I put down like shimmers or something on my lid. It's an extra step. That's part of why I'm getting rid of it, because it's just not something that I care to do all the time. It's not a bad product, it's just not something that I remember to use ever. Also, there have been some days that I put it down and I'm like, ooh, that's really, like the shimmer that I put on top, I really like it. Like it helps intensify it, and it's worth it to me. There are some other days that I put this down and the shimmer that I put on top, the same formula, like I've been using Anastasia shadows all month. And there are some days that I put some of the other shimmers down and I don't like it. I feel like it makes my lids look kind of funky, or like it sticks too much in certain spots and not in others. And it's weird that this product is inconsistent for me. And yeah, so I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it, but I would be so proud to use this up. So I'm not going to give up on it for that reason, just because like I want to be able to say that I finished one of these this year. So I have used this 18 times, which I think is pretty good. And then also my Buxom liner I have also sharpened twice, and I think that I mean I just love this color. I don't know what I was thinking about when I bought the full size of the item, because I had not sharpened this for the first time. I don't know why I thought it was gonna run out so quickly that I needed to run out and buy another full size version of it. Temporary insanity, I don't know. I have worn it also 15 times, and to show you the progress marks for both products, they're right here. So the Buxom liner was right here. Come on, focus for me. So yeah, intro and then February, and then over here is the shadow stick, intro and February. And so they honestly were very similar progress wise, which I guess makes sense since I sharpened them the same amount of times. So that is everything for my 9 in 2019. Again, let me go over this super convoluted update schedule that I have planned. I should have at the intro said that I was going to only do quarterly updates. I knew in my gut that quarterly updates was going to be more appropriate. So to get on the quarterly schedule, I need to be on a March, June, September, December, I think is when the quarterly updates are. And so I know that next month is only, March is next month, and that's only 1 month from now, but we're gonna work on that. We're gonna do the update in 1 month from now in March, and then after that it will be 3 months, right? Yeah, 3 months until June. And so that hopefully will give me enough time to actually get interesting progress, and you won't be seeing such boring updates along and along. But other than that, that is everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.